Lovelies. If you're returning, as always, welcome back. If you're new, then welcome to the family. Today I'm going to be doing some beef. I've got in my bowl here 700 grams of lean diced beef. It's totally up to you if you don't want to get completely lean meat. That's your choice. I bought this in my supermarket. You can find it in your butchers or in your supermarket. Wherever you shop for your meat, they should have diced beef. So I've got some seasoning that I've already cut up here that I'm going to add to it. I've got 1 onion, 4 pimento seeds, some Scotch bonnet pepper, some garlic. I've cut up 3 little pegs of garlic, and I've got some tomatoes here that I've cut up. I'm using cherry tomatoes today because I prefer that flavour with my beef. If you want to use normal tomatoes, you want to use cooking tomatoes, vine tomato, salad tomato, totally up to you. Have a field day with it. But just so you can see, those are my seasonings on the board. I'm just gonna put them in. My meat has already been washed, by the way. If you guys are familiar with my channel, you know I say to you, wash your meat with either vinegar, you can use a bit of lime, or you could use a bit of lemon juice. That's totally up to you. So my tomatoes have decided to just fly. So guys, I'm just gonna mix this in, and then I'll come back to you to incorporate my other seasonings. Right guys, as you can see, I have mixed in my seasonings, so onion, etc. Now I'm going to put in all of my dry seasonings. So I'm going to start off with my salt, and I'm going to put 1.5 teaspoons in there. You can put as much or as little as you want. Obviously, you know your diet. I'm using table salt. You don't have to use table salt because I know a lot of people have issues with it. So it's totally up to you guys. If you don't want to use table salt, use something else. Right, so I've got 1 teaspoon of ground black pepper. Again, if you don't want to use ground black pepper, use your alternative that you're happy with. I'm going to put in 1 teaspoon of the all-purpose seasoning, so that's a heaped teaspoon, by the way. I'm going to go in with a 1/4 teaspoon of the Walkerswood wet jerk seasoning. Not a lot because this is quite strong, and if you don't know what you're doing, you can end up burning your mouth. So that's the one that I'm using. Can we focus? Guys, I don't know what is going on. So that should... Anyways guys, you know what I'm using, the Walkerswood. I'm sure you've seen it in another video already. Or you can just Google it, Walkerswood jerk seasoning, hot and spicy. I'm going to use 1 teaspoon of dried parsley. You guys know I love my parsley, so yeah. Just pop that in the sink. And then I'm going to use just a little bit of paprika, because we've already got several types of pepper going into this meal, so just a tiny bit. There we go. Just gonna mix this in before I add anything else. Apologies for the noise, baby girl's not very happy at the moment. Guys, always hearing these children in these videos. I'm gonna have to invite them on as guests. Right guys, I'm gonna put a little bit of Pickapeppa sauce in there. Just a tiny bit, I'd say 1/4 teaspoon. Remember to mix up the bottle before you actually use it. And I'm going to add a little bit of browning, the Sarsons Browning. Not too much, just a little bit, because this browning will have your meat looking black, black, black. Okay. Right, so once you mix this all in, you just want to leave it to just marinate for a few hours. If you haven't got the time to marinate it for a few hours, then by all means you can start cooking it straight away. The only thing is the depth of flavour in the meat won't be as strong, but it doesn't really make that much of a difference. Yes, my beautiful nails are back. I forgot, for those of you that like to commentate. I got them done at Nails by Beaumont. So guys, if you're in Derby, please feel free to check them out. The girls in there are lovely and the service is just excellent. I am always having a good nail day thanks to Nails by Beaumont, so check them out. Alright, so this meat is now ready. I'm going to cover it over with some cling film and put it in the fridge to marinate for a little while. And then once that is up and running, I will get back to you guys. See you on the other side. Alright love, so I've had my meat marinating for a little while now. I've now got my pot on the stove, sorry. I'm going to put that on to a medium heat. What's on the timing today? There we go. Is it in the right place? Right, so that's on a medium heat now. I'm going to put some oil in. You can use whatever oil you want to. Gonna let this heat up, and then I'm gonna start adding my meat in to the pot. I'm not gonna put any of the seasoning in, just the meat pieces are gonna go into the pot. Be mindful when you're putting the meat in, because as the oil is heating up, it will splash up and burn you if you just throw the meat in there. And if it gets too hot, it will also start splashing, so you want to be mindful of that. If a few pieces of seasoning go in, don't worry, it's not the end of the day. It's not the end of the world. You will live. As if you don't want to use as much meat as I'm using, that's fine, that's up to you. You can use a lesser amount if you want. Also, same goes with the season. If you want to put more onion, if you want to put less onion, less tomato, whatever, it's totally up to you. Customize it how you want. Obviously, I'm not going to say to you it's going to taste exactly the same, because if you vary ingredients, obviously there will be a difference in taste. So just bear that in mind, that it will change the taste if you do decide to add extra to it or take away from it. Alright guys, that's all in there now, so I've literally just got in here the seasonings left. So I'm going to get a cooking spoon or serving spoon, whatever you call it. Just going to rinse it off quickly. Give my meat a little mix. As you can turn up the heat as well if it's not suitable for you, okay? So I've just turned mine up to a high heat temporarily, so I can just seal my meat and then I'll turn it back down and put the lid on. Totally up to you. If you want to just leave it on a low heat to stew, that's fine. If you want to put it in one of the slow cookers and leave it, that is also fine. You can literally leave it for hours and then you can go back and just add in your vegetables and your seasoning right at the end to just finish it off. That is fine as well. Right guys, so I'm just gonna put the lid on, turn this down back to a medium heat and then just let it cook through for a little while. And then I'm going to come back and add some water to it. So I'll probably leave this for about 3 to 4 minutes and then add a little bit of water to it. It's going to be water from the kettle, which I've already boiled up. So just bear that in mind. If you want to add cold water, it's up to you. But I'm going to be adding hot water from the kettle. Alright, so it's been 5 minutes now. So I'm just going to give it a mix. Put in some water. And then go again. Guys, I haven't added any water at all to this. This is literally just what's come out of the meat. So that's why I say as well, don't add any water at first, because you don't want too much water in there. And not only that, if you put too much water in at a time, you'll just drown it and the flavour won't go in properly because of the way that the meat is being cooked. So you want to just add a little water at a time to get it cooked nicely, but not basically drown out the flavour. So I'm just going to add a little bit of water from the kettle into it. So I'm just going to put enough to cover all of the meat, but not drown it basically. There you go. And you just want to leave that to cook until it's reduced down, and then repeat that process. And this time round, do not cover the pot completely, just slightly open it, because it will foam up and it will float over onto your stove. So please remember to leave the lid slightly open, okay? Alright, so the meat has been cooking now for about 25 minutes. So just going to get the lid off. And I'm going to add in my seasonings. from earlier. It smells so good, honestly. Could just eat it now. Just going to top this up again with some water from the kettle. Cover it. And then give it a mix. Cover it up and let it cook for another, say, 15 minutes. And then I'm going to add in my vegetables and my sweet peppers. So I've got potatoes and carrots here. It's just behind there, I don't know if you can see it. You can cut them up anyhow you want. I've literally just sliced along them in random shapes. It doesn't need to be any particular shape or size or anything like that. You just cut it up so that it's suitable for your pot. Right, so I'm just going to cover this back. Make sure you leave a little space in the pot anywhere so that the pot doesn't float over once again. Right, so it's been 20 minutes and I'm just going to add in now the potatoes, carrots and the sweet peppers to the meat. So that's just what it's looking like at the minute. So this is my cutting board. I'm just going to put in the potatoes first and the carrots. So as you can see, I've just, cut them up randomly. There's no specific size or anything like that. And then for peppers, I've got red, yellow and green bell peppers. You don't have to use all three. I'm just doing that because I just like the colours in the pot, but it's up to you. If you want to use just one colour, or if you don't have all three of those, or if you have an orange one maybe, I don't know, then that's totally up to you. You can do that. You don't actually have to use the same colours that I do. Like I said once before, I do that for colour. Right, I'm just going to let the potatoes and the carrots just steam for a little while. Probably give it around 3 to 4 minutes, and then after that I'm going to add in the sweet peppers, and then I'll just give it another 5 minutes to steam through, and then I am done. Right, so that's been 5 minutes now since my potatoes and carrots have been in. So I'm going to add in my sweet peppers now. Bell peppers, whatever you want to call them. So let's give this a little mix now. So you literally just want to be cooking this down for another 5 minutes, and then you are good to serve up. So that's it. If you want to add more water to it for more gravy, then you can do, but I don't want too much in there. As you can see, there's more than enough at the bottom there, so I'm fine with that. But it's up to you guys. You can add more water if you would like. Alright, lovely people, so that 5 minutes is now up and this is ready. As not everyone's meat is going to cook at the same time, some might cook quicker, some might take a bit longer. So just bear that in mind please when you're cooking, and check your meat as you go along if you don't know whether it's cooked or not, okay? If you know how to do it, you can check it with your utensils. If not, please just grab a piece of meat, let it cool, and then test it to see if it's cooked enough or too much or whatever for you, so you can gauge how you want it, okay? So there it is. Oh, what's that? See you guys on the next one. Remember to like, share, comment. Obviously if it's unnecessary negatives about my nails or wearing gloves, please keep it to yourself. I'm not interested. This is my kitchen, this is my home, and this is how I cook. By all means, if you want to not have your nails done and you do not want to wear gloves in your kitchen, that's fine. If you're catering for other people, by all means please do wear your gloves. Literally do wear your gloves and any other safety you know, gear that you need to wear. But for myself personally, I'll do as I like in my kitchen. You're more than welcome to do what you want in yours, guys, okay? So with that being said, have a brilliant day. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.